Tomb Raider Survivor's Crusade, issue number 2. This is from Dark Horse Comics. I don't know if I want to say I'm a huge fan of Tomb Raider. I did enjoy the original series as a kid. I loved the hell out of the reboot that was released a couple years ago. Haven't had a chance to play the sequel, Rise of the Tomb Raider, yet. Maybe one day. But this comic apparently is supposed to take place after Rise of the Tomb Raider. And, yeah. The writing is just kind of meh. Like, the story isn't all that great. And the art is terrible. Alright, so here's the cover. I don't know. Cover is not too bad, but then again, I think I'm just saying that because the actual interior is so much worse. I mean, for a cover, this isn't all that great. I mean, this right here, this is like a somewhat okay, passable interior, but this isn't like cover quality artwork. But it is when you compare it to the interior. Here we go. Yeah, look at that artwork. Doesn't that look beautiful? What is this? Look at Jonah. What? Look at his face. Oh, this is so bad. Alright, so some stuff happened in the first issue. It's been a while since I read it, and I read a lot of comics since then. So I kind of forgot, and I really don't feel like going back and reading it again because it's not all that great. It's very forgettable. I guess I guess I can say that because there are tons of comics that I read. I mean, I read a boatload of comics. Like, oh my god, I read so many comics. And like I still remember, issues from like Red Hood and the Outlaws. I read a couple, I still remember like a few issues back. Like, because I like the story enough. Tomb Raider was just really forgettable. All I remember was like most of it was Laura trying to leave some kind of message to Jonah about how I guess she's okay or something like that. Like she's still alive. And then she does something and she gets attacked by something. I don't know. Who cares? Whatever. Man, I just can't look away from the artwork. It's so bad. So yeah, Jonah is happy to see Laura. And then Laura sits down and basically explains about how... Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So she received the Cross of Stars from the last issue. And she's going up against a group called Trinity. I'm assuming Trinity is from Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't think they were in the Tomb Raider reboot. Or maybe they were. Maybe they were the mercenaries. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played that game. But yeah, basically there's like a group called Trinity, and I guess they're also treasure hunters. They're like the rivals of Lara Croft. They're kind of like, I guess they're kind of like a private army / treasure hunters. Anyways, Laura's is basically explaining what she did in the last issue. I'm not going to read all of it, and unfortunately you guys aren't going to be able to see it because I'm going to erase the dialogue so I don't get a copyright strike, which is kind of funny. A little off topic, but I see other YouTubers where they show like literally like 90% of issues with dialogue and everything. Hell, there are even a couple YouTubers who show literally every page with all the dialogue, and they never once seem to have gotten any copyright strikes or anything like that. Yet I did. So that's why, if you guys are ever wondering why I don't show that, like I show a few panels, maybe a couple pages, but not like the majority of an issue, and why the dialogue is always erased no matter what. That's why. It's because I'm like overly cautious to not receive any copyright strikes, because I have already received one before from, I'm sure most of you guys know the story. It was with Iron Fists. Not Iron Fist, but Iron Fists with an S, and it was a terrible, terrible series. I only read the first issue and I was done. It was so bad, but the writer decided he wanted to hit me up with the copyright strike. So yeah, I think he hit me up with the copyright strike because I gave him a bad review on his comic. But yeah, because of that, I block AV dialogue and I don't show everything. But on with the comic. So Jonah is basically talking about their trip to Thailand, which took place a month ago. And I don't know if they're supposed to be like on vacation or looking for something. Jonah seems to give the impression that they're supposed to be on vacation, but then Laura, like before we get the flashback, but then as we're getting the flashback, it seems like they're actually just looking for something. So the whole thing is really confusing. Basically, they're looking for something. They find a temple. They climb it. They kind of have some issues, but they get inside. Sorry if I'm just gonna, yeah. Look at this panel. This is so bad. Look at his face. I feel like I should quote Mr. Plinkett. What's wrong with your face, Jonah? What's wrong with your face, buddy? But Laura trips a track. Ah, I got tongue tied. And I got tongue tied again. Let's try this one more time. Laura trips a trap. There we go. There's a little tongue twister for you guys. Laura trips a trap. So, yeah, we get like some Indiana Jones stuff where they're running and they got like some, I don't know if they're arrows or something is like shooting out at them. Laura gets hit, but they jump through and then they make it into this place where there's a giant Buddha statue. No, that's not Buddha. What is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's based off of any real life thing. It kind of looks like a Buddha statue, somewhat. But yeah, basically we get more puzzle thingies. They decide to... Basically, they're kind of trapped with this giant golden statue, but they see a bunch of gunpowder. So Laura pulls out her gun and shoots it, which causes a huge explosion, which allows them to escape. But as they're escaping, they like everything's falling apart, and they get separated, and Laura falls into this ocean or whatever, and she wakes up inside a cave. And inside, she finds the treasure that she's looking for, along with a bunch of dead bodies. I'm assuming they're dead. They're buried under rubble, and none of them are moving. So, yeah, she gets the treasure that she wants, but one of the guys is still alive, and apparently he knows her, and he's about to shoot her when he dies. Either he dies or he passes out. But then Jonah says, you lied to me, and Laura's like, no, we were looking for the temple. And then Jonah says, because Trinity was there. Yes. And the reason why is because, the reason why Laura's after Trinity is because apparently they murdered her father. Because Laura says, they're monsters, Jonah. They're murderers and thieves. They squander the secrets of history for their own gain. And then Jonah says, Laura, don't. This isn't about history and we both know it. It's about your father. It's about Sam. You lied to me, so I'll help you get some kind of vengeance. I don't know what happened to Sam. Is Sam dead? Is that what happened in the second movie? Did she die? As far as I know, she's still alive. But I guess she's dead. Or injured or something. I don't know. Maybe she's kidnapped. In which case, Jonah, why aren't you trying to help Laura if that's the case? I'm assuming she's dead. Because if she was injured, I would think Jonah would want to be nearby her. If she was kidnapped, I would think Jonah would actually want to help Laura on her quest. But if she's dead, then all Laura is looking for is vengeance. In which case, it would explain why Jonah probably doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get dragged down that path. Which, I don't know. If somebody killed my father and my best friends, you better believe I'm going to be coming for some vengeance. Like, I ain't going to let you get away with that. I don't know. It always kind of made me kind of... Like, the stories like this, like, I'm sorry, I got to side with Laura. Like, if I was Jonah and one of my best friends, her father was killed, and then her best friend, as long as my best friend, because Sam is friends with Jonah as well. So these people killed my best friend's father, as well as killed one of my best friends. And what? I'm just gonna be like, nope, you guys can get away with it. I'm just gonna go work in my restaurant. I'm like, no. I would be helping my friend get revenge. So Jonah, you're in the wrong, and you're very ugly in this panel. This is terrible. And look at Laura's face. What is this? Who drew this? Who's the illustrator for this? Give me a second. I gotta look this up.
A few moments later.
Ashley A. Woods is the illustrator. And then Michael Atiye is the colorist. Oh man, those. Well, the color isn't that bad, but the illustrations, the line art is so terrible. You know what this looks like? This looks like a fan comic that you would see on DeviantArt by a non-professional artist. Because I mean, I gotta say that because there have been some fan arts that I've seen that are freaking amazing, and I'm just like, wow, this is like way better than the professional work. But No, this would be like me doing fan art of Tomb Raider, and I'm terrible when it comes to illustrations. This is just. I'm like I feel bad because I don't want to rag on the artist because I'm assuming that they're trying their very best. But all I'm gonna say is she should keep practicing, and I'm sure one day she'll get really good. But she should not be doing any professional comics as of this moment. Like she's not ready for it. But I mean, there's some stuff here where I can see like if she kept working at it, maybe took a couple more classes if she has taken any classes, then I can see maybe some great things coming from her in the future, but not right now. She's just no, she's not ready for professional comics right now. Laura tries to convince Jonah to help her, but he refuses, and he basically, yeah, he's just like, you're on your own. And so Laura walks off by herself into the rain, looking as ugly as everyone else in this comic. And that's how it ends. So yeah. uh yeah. I think I'm done. I mean, usually I like to give comics 3 issues, but this comic hasn't done enough to grab my attention story-wise, and the art's just really bad. Like, if the art was like fantastic and the story was just meh, then maybe I'd give it a couple more chances just to see if maybe the story would pick up. Or if the art was very terrible, like it is, but the story was really good, then I would still keep going because there were a lot of manga and even a couple comic series out there where the art is pretty bad and would scare away most people, but the story is like right up my alley, so I enjoy it and I keep reading them. But this has neither. This has just bad art and not bad writing, but just boring writing. Like there's nothing interesting really happening. So, I mean, the very first issue was completely forgettable, uh, and not worthy enough to even do another read. So yeah, I don't think I want to spend money on another Tomb Raider comic. But yeah, that was issue number 2 of this Tomb Raider series. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the art's passable? uh, Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.